Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Adam Purvis Progeny MRB here with me for a review. Please don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. As usual, we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy, but first of all, let's just check the size of this very interesting knife, because overall length is gonna be 7.5 inches with a 3.35, something like that, inch long blade and a 4.2 inch long handle. And let's see it up against some options. Here we have the CRKT Quattro, also very similar G10 handle, and if you want to see something like similar shape kind of thing with the blade, and also G10, you've got the Montosa right over here. Let's also do the usual suspect. Here you have your Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco, and of course Para 3 also from Spyderco. As you can see, this guy is right in between these two pretty famous knives. And also, of course, we've got the Ontario Rat number 2 right over there, and Ontario Rat number 1 right over here, again right in between these two pretty popular options, Ontario knives. Of course, TRM Atom and TRM Neutron in the house. Again, look at this, right in between these two offerings by Three Rivers. And what else can I show you? I'll show you like a Hinderer Knives XM18. This is a 3.5 inch long blade, and here you got a pretty interesting one. This is the Reiki Knives 2 Night. And also something like smaller. This is the Pena Knives Apache X Series in fat carbon, green fat carbon scales. And look at this big boy, just to give you another perspective. This is a Reiki Knives 2 lay. And also, what can I show you? Of course, just as classic Sebenza Large 21. This is the Night Sky with Mother of Pearl, Cabochon, and just the last one. This is Koenig Knives Arius Generation 4 Batch 2 textured handles in the house. So you've got the idea. Basically, this is it's not a big knife, but it's not even a small knife. It's the right dimension, and it is very nicely done, guys. This one has it's an Adam Purvis design, very beautifully made with some G10 contoured scales, which are revealing this kind of nice grain underneath, because it's not flat, it's just kind of like contoured, and it's nicely done. You've got a partial liner stainless steel on the show side and a full liner with some holes drilled into the lock side. It's a G10, a couple of G10 scales, so the weight is going to be pretty contained. It's not like the strongest construction, but it's pretty solidly built. You've got two standoffs going on right over here, stainless steel, nicely polished. And you've got, there's no basically lanyard hole. I know you can't like just pass like a paracord or something right over here, because it's kind of like too tight. You have a nice lock release relief right over here, which is it's pretty nicely done, I have to say. There's no stainless steel insert, because guess what? This is stainless steel, so there's no need for that. There's no lock stick whatsoever. Super easy to disassemble. You've got a T6 Torx bit screw right over here. This pivot is keyed in, I believe, and you've got probably T6 again, also for the, or T8, no, T6 probably, or T8 for the pivot right over here, which is pretty cool. It's flush, it's not protruding from the scales, and it's very nicely done. Look at this. There's no There's no hole for the Torx bit like you have on this side, so it's clean looking, has nice lines, sweeping. Here you see like the end of the blade is just nicely done and just closes nicely at the end of the handle right over here. Really, really cool. Also, I really appreciate the 3D mill titanium pocket clip, nice and springy action. It's beautifully done, guys. It's this is I would say like $150 knife, so it's on the lower end, I would say, but it's overall very, very nicely done. And if you check the blade, look at this. I mean, the design is pretty cool. This is a 3.3 inch long Wharncliffe blade in 154 cm steel. Right over here is the marking, and it's beautifully done. The stock is the right thickness. It's not too thin, not too thick. It's good. For example, if you compare this with the Paramilitary 2, look at this. It's pretty much the same thickness, so it's going to be a very nice slicer. You've got a flat grind with a flat area over here. You've got a nice swedge going on up to this point, and then Wharncliffe shape going on like that, and basically this is all belly. It's very gentle and very light curve, but it's a belly, it's not a flat edge, which gets here to the sharpening choil to reveal a pretty decently thin behind the edge blade. So this guy is going to be a nice slicer. I think the overall edge symmetry is pretty good. The edge profile is nicely done, and I have to say I'm a fan of these Wharncliffe's blades recently. I like also the plunge grind being recessed like that, so it allows, as you can see by this line, to have a thin edge up to the heel of the blade. Really cool. Also, you've got your jimping only in the flipper tab, nothing on the blade. And you have Adam Purvis AP logo right over here, and just the marking for the steel 154 cm right in the back. So very inobtrusive, and it's not distracting. It contributes to have like an overall very clean look to the knife. Also, the sound, it's very contained. It's very muffled in the closing action. When you open, a little bit less, but it's pleasant. It gives you like a solid feeling and a nice acoustic feedback, which translates into my brain into something made with quality materials and nicely designed. So I like it very much. The weight of this guy in the pocket is going to be 3.2 ounces, so it's pretty light, but feels substantial, feels solid in the hand. You've got no hot spots with the main grip. You can do a reverse grip, but it's a little bit awkward, honestly, because this area here gets a little bit too thin, so you don't get like a nice feeling in this side over here. But regular grip, absolutely good. It's a little bit slippery because of the lack of the jimping over here, so you can do a choke up kind of thing, because this sharpening choil, it's not really a finger choil, but it's kind of alright. You can kind of maybe put the fingertip right over here to gain a little bit of precision, but I would advise just to keep it like this. And if you check the overall texture, fit and finish, it's pretty good. The texture is smooth. Fit and finish is good. You've got some chamfering going on the outside, just a very tiny chamfering going on the inside, of course with just a little bit of skeletonization to reduce the weight, but I don't really see any gaps or any fit and finish issue on this one. It is nicely done. You even have the this area which has been milled out for your flipper for the push button action. Sorry, like that. So your index is gonna land on this surface over here, which is indented, and it's not gonna be uncomfortable. So it's a little interesting touch. You've got light switch option, of course, two-hand deployment, or push button option to deploy the blade. It's gonna be probably, my favorite is gonna be probably the light switch because of the pointy nature of this flipper tab, but it's very, very contained. I mean, look at that. It's very, very small, and it works in both ways, but long term, probably you're gonna have a little bit of finger sore if you do the push button, so just do the light switch like that and take advantage of this jimping right over here to avoid finger sore. Action is absolutely smooth. Guys, this is the highlight of this knife. It's ridiculous. Like, for the price, it's probably the best bang for the buck, because I never experienced anything as smooth as this in the $150 range. Maybe I'm wrong. This guy is running on bearings. Let me know if you have a better option, because I'm telling you, this is a smooth knife. Look at this. D10 strength is on the medium side, so it's perfect. When you can't really, you can maybe just, if you push your finger, you can just snag a little bit on the tip of the blade, but it's kind of like safe. You have just to jam your finger in to be able to touch it. But guys, I mean, the lock bar, it's pretty easy to release because there's a cutout here, some indentations. There's no jimping going on over here, so it's not going to be as grippy, but it's pretty good. And of course, there's no detent ball ramp on this on the tang of the blade, so you're going to feel a little bit the hard step right over here. But the action, guys, as soon as you disengage the lock bar, look at this, boom. And then as soon as you move it, and I mean, guys, look at this. It's so smooth. It's incredible that this knife is $150. It just blows my mind. It's fantastic. Really, really nice blade suction. I mean, it's a very, very good option for the price that they are asking. I mean, it looks good. I really enjoy this this blade shape and the handle shape. Pretty interesting sound. It's not the best one, but it's not horrible. Ergos are very good. No hot spots, and the action, oh boy, it's a really, really cool one. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.